Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Slattery, and for my Capstone final, I have chosen to analyze the Samsung electronics case. For an overview, first we're going to go over the brief history to see how Samsung became a leader in the electronics industry. Then we'll dive into what this case focuses on. Next, we'll take a look into the recommendations for moving forward, and we'll wrap it up with a summary of the case. Samsung was established in 1938 by Byung Chul Lee in Korea. He started the company by selling dried fish, vegetables, and fruit to Manchuria and Beijing. During the 1970s, Samsung began to produce its core technology business. This division of the company really helped drive Samsung to be the company we know it as today. The core technology business started out by making black and white televisions, washing machines, refrigerators, and then it moved into color televisions and microwave ovens. This busy time period is when Samsung's core technology business was starting to diversify and expand globally. In 1987, Lee passed away after 50 years of guiding the company, and his son takes over. His son challenges the company to restructure itself in a way to become one of the world's top electronic companies. And by the 90s, this goal was met. Samsung had become one of the world's leading electronic companies. However, even though it was a top leader in sales, it was perceived as a fast follower and not an innovative company. That brings us up to speed to 1996, when Jong Young-yoon is named the CEO of the company. He is faced with a tough task of creating the perception that Samsung is an innovative leader and creating the strategy to gain a competitive advantage over its competitors, such as Apple. Yoon leads the company through a dramatic transformation during his time period as CEO. First, he changes the perception of Samsung being a low-cost product company into a cutting-edge, high-tech brand that impressed consumers. This was done by designing products that were both attractive and featured advanced technology. This design strategy changed the perception of Samsung into a premium brand that could charge higher prices and thus yielding higher profits. Yoon also believed the key to this success was in the R&D department and invested heavily in it to make it faster and larger than any competitor. This helped grow innovation without sacrificing quality and allows Samsung to roll out products faster than any other company in the industry. So what are we analyzing in this case? This case focused on two things. How did innovation revitalize Samsung? And what competitive strategies did Yoon implement to help Samsung continue its leadership into the electronic market? So what is innovation? Innovation is using new knowledge to transform organizational processes or create commercially viable products and services. Innovation requires a leadership team to have a strong vision of the future, along with a drive to want to make changes. There are challenges associated with innovation. These challenges have been grouped together into 5 dilemmas. They are seeds versus weeds, experience versus initiative, internal versus external, building capabilities versus collaborating, incremental versus preemptive launch. The first challenge, seeds versus weeds, is knowing when to pursue an idea, the seeds, and knowing when to cast aside an idea, the weeds. Yoon was able to reduce the management levels between Samsung, between their designers and their top managers, and he appointed a chief design officer to help ensure ideas reach decision makers faster. Next, in the experience versus initiative, this is who will lead the project. Will it be the senior managers who have the experience, or would it be a mid-level employee who yields more enthusiasm? When Yun reduced the number of management layers within Samsung, he was also finding a fix for this challenge as well. By reducing the number of layers, he was creating incentives for employees who wanted to take on riskier projects. Next, the internal versus external staffing. Yun recruited many new managers and engineers from outside the company to bring in fresh ideas to help Samsung think out of the box. Next is building capabilities versus collaborating. Innovation projects need new skills which can be built from within or sourced via collaboration. Young encouraged the Samsung brands to compete against each other to spur innovation and speed up the release process. So he was banking on the building capabilities rather than on collaborating. And then finally, an incremental or a preemptive launch. An incremental launch is less risky because it requires fewer resources. However, it does allow for a competitive response. A preemptive launch is riskier and requires more planning both financially and strategically. Yun encouraged preemptive launches by making it easier for managers to get approvals to budgets and products. The speed of the new Samsung structure was allowing Samsung to release products faster into the market than any other competitor, and also allowing for less time for those competitors to respond to their new products. Yun was transforming the organizational processes within Samsung to be more innovative, and he was putting more money into his human resources, his people. This allowed designers to think more proactively about the future and reduce the time to get products to the market. Next is the competitive strategies that Yun implemented. There are 3 generic strategies that are used to overcome the Porter's 5 forces of competition and gain that competitive advantage. Those strategies are an overall cost leadership, a differentiation strategy, and a focus strategy. An overall cost leadership strategy is when a firm positions its products as a low-cost solution relative to competitors. Up until Yun was the CEO of Samsung, Samsung's strategy was to be the overall cost leader in the industry. A cost leader gains a competitive advantage through lower production processes and producing products similar to competitors. When Young took over Samsung, this was a failing strategy. Samsung was actually close to bankruptcy, and this is also a reason why many people thought that Samsung was a follower. It wasn't an innovative company. Yun decided to change Samsung's strategy to a differentiation strategy. This strategy is done by creating products or services that is unique in brand image, technology, innovation, and features, and something that is valued by customers. This allows the brand to charge premium prices and allows for those products to differentiate themselves from others on the market. In 2008, Yun stepped down as leader of Samsung, and Woon-Yu Lee became the CEO of Samsung. He made many changes, including restructuring the firm and consolidating Samsung's divisions from 5 down to 2. With all of these changes, the Samsung leadership needs to have a clear strategic direction on how to move the company forward and help ensure that there are no fractures in the organization. Samsung can do this by ensuring the culture of Samsung continues to be dedicated to creating innovative, well-designed products. One thing that they can continue to do is make sure that the employees have time to feel that their ideas are valued and that they are able to continue to work on projects. So wrapping up this case, Samsung has become a world leader in its electronics world. It's a transition from an overall cost leader to a differential premium brand. Samsung was able to become a premium brand by successfully implementing different innovation strategies, such as reducing management layers and increasing the R&D spending to release products faster. Yen also put money back into his employees to help ensure that they stay creative in their processes. A recommendation in order to continue to be successful is that the new Samsung management needs to develop Samsung's culture for innovation and set a clear vision to ensure that there are no fractions within the organization and that the employees still value the work that they are doing.